Congratulations, you're moving to Florida, specifically somewhere in Brevard County here on the Space Coast. More than likely, your move is taking you here for a job or position at the Space Center, or maybe one of the government contractor aerospace tech jobs, the medical field, or PCS orders to Patrick. No matter the reason for your upcoming move, this video here is an introduction to the place I've lived for the last 40 years, Brevard County, Florida. Since Brevard County is uniquely shaped, over 70 miles long, 26 miles wide at its widest point, with some natural boundaries separating the county, the ocean, the intracoastal, the St. Johns River. I'll be talking about different locations, the north end, the south end, the central part of the county, and the barrier islands to help you determine what is the best location for you to consider home. If you're going to be working at the Space Center, the north half of the county makes a lot of sense, maybe as far south as the Pineda Causeway. If you're going to be working at the governor contractor aerospace tech type jobs that are centered around the Melbourne airport, then the south end of the county up to Pineda to 404 probably makes sense. If you're stationed at Patrick Space Force Base, then the center part of the county is going to make a lot of sense. And if you're moving here because of the medical field, it really depends on the location of the hospital or the offices you'll be working from on where would be the best recommendations. If this is going to be the first time you're living in Florida or somewhere near the coast, questions about hurricanes always comes up. How often do you evacuate? Are you forced to evacuate? What's it like going through a storm? Mandatory evacuations is for the barrier islands. This is our beach communities along the A1A corridor. It's all of Merritt Island, and if you're living on the mainland east of US 1. If you live in these areas and they call for mandatory evacuation, they're asking you to leave your home and get west of US 1. This doesn't happen with every hurricane. This doesn't happen every year. Matter of fact, in 2025 so far, we've had a really quiet hurricane season. You will learn more about how to adapt and get through a hurricane season from your neighbors, your coworkers, from the local news and other resources that are online. I have several videos and blogs that'll help you prepare for any upcoming storms. One of the next popular questions that come up after hurricanes are, where are the flood zones? While there are properties in flood zone A, E, or AE, you'll be surprised how many properties in Brevard County are actually in flood zone X. This means flood insurance is not required if you're getting a mortgage. Any property that you're considering will look at the FEMA flood maps to see what flood zone that you're actually in. If you have kiddos and the school zones are important to you, there are some great resources online that I'd like to introduce you to. The first is a school zone locator map that the Brevard County School Board provides. Enter the address of the property you're interested in, and the website will confirm what school district you're in. Fortunately, most of the schools here in Brevard County have pretty decent ratings. I'll have in the comments below some great online resources so you can do the research to confirm the school district you're in and how the schools are rated. And besides the elementary, middle, and high schools, we do have some advanced education options here in Brevard County. There's Eastern Florida State College, where there's 3 locations, and Florida Institute of Technology located in Melbourne. I get a lot of questions about how safe a particular neighborhood is. Legally, I'm not allowed to answer that due to fair housing laws. And even if I could, that question is really opinion based on how to answer it. There's some neighborhoods I might be very comfortable with, and you're locking the doors and saying, get me out of here, and vice versa. I will have in the comments below links to some great websites so you can research the crime statistics in a particular zip code or area. Really, I recommend taking a drive through particular areas that you're interested in to see how comfortable you feel with what you're seeing and driving through. Where to go for shopping? We have major retailers located throughout Brevard County. Publix, Aldi's, Dollar General, Walmart, and Targets. We have a Whole Foods and Trader Joe's that are coming soon. We also have the shopping clubs here in Brevard County. There are Sam's Club, BJ's, and we also have a Costco. There's multiple Lowe's and Home Depot and Ace Hardwares throughout the county as well. For restaurants and places to eat, we have all of the fast food restaurants and national chains in places throughout the county. We also have some great local mom and pop style one-of-a-kind restaurants. I'm happy to provide you a list of some of my favorites. There's also plenty of Facebook groups that you could jump on and ask the locals what their favorite restaurants are. If you like the cool downtown areas that some cities have to offer, we've got a few great locations. City of Titusville's downtown has a cool small town vibe. You've got the old building, the nice storefronts. There's a historic playhouse and riverfront parks too. Cocoa Village has the same small town vibe that's also near the river. They also have the Cocoa Village Historic Playhouse. There's also concerts and events throughout the year in Cocoa Village. Port Canaveral has restaurants that are on the water. I enjoy watching the cruise ships come in and the boats going out while having a bite to eat. Weekends, there could be live music at some of the restaurants. Downtown Cocoa Beach, there are over 40 bars and restaurants in their downtown area. You've got live music on the weekends, and of course, the beaches are right there too. Indialantic has Nance Park, which is on the ocean, with shops and restaurants along Fifth Avenue, which is also known as Melbourne Causeway or 192. City of Melbourne has two areas for you to explore. One is off the O'Galley Causeway between the river and US 1. Certainly worth exploring. It's known as the O'Galley Arts District. Besides the shops and restaurants that are there are also quite a few murals along the buildings. Melbourne's other location is historic downtown Melbourne. It's off of 192 and is also between the river and US 1. There's great shops, there's bars, there's restaurants. The Henniger Center is here that offers shows and live performances. And the City of Melbourne is in the process of upgrading and updating their Front Street Park. And this will be connecting downtown to the Indian River. If you like to golf, here's a map of the golf courses throughout Brevard County. Most of these are open to the public. There's a few of them that are membership only. I already mentioned the Henniger Center for shows and live performances. There's also the King Center in Melbourne, which is next to the East Florida State College campus in Melbourne. They have national bands come through. They have comedians. There's Broadway plays. And they have holiday and Christmas shows too. For other forms of live entertainment, Orlando isn't that far away. You can see concerts at the Kia Center, the House of Blues, Hard Rock. There's pro basketball with the Orlando Magic. Their soccer team is Orlando City Soccer. There's minor league hockey with the Orlando Solar Bears. Plus, all the attractions are about an hour away. To help you navigate Brevard County, where you might be living at compared to where you might be working at, here is an overview of the major roadways we have. Starting on the east side of town, A1A is the major roadway on our beach communities. I often refer to this in other videos as the A1A corridor. Merritt Island, State Road 3 is the main thoroughfare. Depending on where you're at, it's either Courtney Parkway or South Tropical Trail. The north end of Courtney Parkway ends at the Kennedy Space Center main gate. US 1 is on the mainland and it runs parallel to the railroad tracks and the Indian River. And really, US 1 runs the entire state from Jacksonville south to Miami. In Melbourne, there's Wickham Road, which north of 192 is Wickham Road, and south of 192 is Minton Road, which runs into Palm Bay. And I-95 is the main corridor on the west side of Brevard County. And this interstate runs from Miami to the south all the way up to the state of Maine. And having I-95 run through Brevard County, it is an important thing to connect with. There are a lot of exits off I-95 here in Brevard County. I use most of them on my day-to-day travels, and they are all important exits, but a few of them I'd like to point out in particular are the ones that connect I-95 to the beaches, which are 528, 520, the Pineda Causeway, the O'Galley Causeway, and 192. These are important if you are living on the barrier islands. Those are your major evacuation routes to get you off the beaches. And the other ones that connect you west towards the Orlando area. 192 will connect you to Kissimmee. 520 and 528 will connect you to Orlando. The Challenger Memorial Parkway, besides connecting you to the Kennedy Space Center main gate, it will also take you east to 528 to get to the Orlando area. Highway 50, besides connecting to US 1, also gets you to the Orlando area. There's a couple factors that could have an impact on where you're going to be living at. What kind of commute are you looking for? Do you want to stay under a 30-minute drive? Are you okay with 45 minutes? Are you looking for a house, a townhouse, or a condo? Do you plan on purchasing or maybe renting? Do you want new construction? Are you looking for something that was built at least in the 2000s? Are you okay with an older home that was built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s? Then there's the size of property. How many bedrooms? How many baths? How big of a garage? Are you okay with living in a homeowners association or not? Do you want waterfront? Do you need a place for a boat, an RV, or other toys? Looking at drive times depending on where you're working at. If you're working at the Kennedy Space Center and want to stay under a 30-minute drive to the main gate, then we'll be looking at the mainland from Titusville south to Cocoa, Florida, Merritt Island to south to about 520. Cape Canaveral would make sense, and Cocoa Beach if you stay north of 520. If you're okay with a 45-minute drive, then really anything from the Pineda Causeway north would work, including all of Cocoa Beach. If you're going to be working at any of the aerospace companies, the government contractors or tech that's centered around the Melbourne airport, maybe the north part of Palm Bay, and you want to stay under a 30-minute drive, all of Melbourne and West Melbourne would make sense. Palm Bay, the north part of Palm Bay from Malabar Road to the north, the Suntree and Vieira area, maybe Rockledge. If you're okay with the 45-minute drive, then you could look at all of Palm Bay, like south of Malabar Road could make sense. You could include Melbourne Beach and Cocoa Beach south of 520, maybe Merritt Island south of 520, as well as Cocoa south of 520. If you have PCS orders to Patrick, a lot of the center part of the county is within 30 minutes. This is thanks to the Pineda Causeway connecting to I-95. Port St. John is probably 45 minutes away. Palm Bay north of Palm Bay Road is probably 45 minutes away. And if you're looking south of that, south of Palm Bay Road or up to Titusville, you're looking at well over 45 minutes. If you're in the medical field and you're going to be moving here to work near one of our hospitals, it'll really depend on what location. The extreme north end, we have Parish Hospital at the north end of Titusville. Anything from 520 north is probably a 30-minute drive. At the south end, there's the Health First Hospital in Palm Bay. It's located off of Malabar Road near Babcock. If you're going to live close to US 1, then you could probably go as far north as the O'Galley Causeway. If you're closer to I-95, then 192 would be a good barrier on the north end. And of course, all of Palm Bay would certainly be within that 30-minute drive. For the hospitals in Melbourne, anything south of I-28 on the mainland, along with the beachside community, should be within 30 minutes. If you're going to be at the Health First in Cocoa Beach or the new location where they're building now in Merritt Island, anywhere south of Highway 50 to the north or north of the O'Galley Causeway to the south should be within 30 minutes. So what are the houses going to cost you? Here's a map showing the cities here in Brevard County. The sales information is from January 1st through the end of September, and the single-family home prices range anywhere from the ridiculously cheap, probably needing a ton of work of $50,000, to the very expensive luxury $6 million. Instead, let's look at the average and median prices for these same cities. Average prices range from $340,000 and up, and the median sales prices are $320,000 and up. So it depends on what it is that you're looking for, and I'll go out and find the selection of homes that match your needs and your budget. I know this video had a lot of information and is a general overview of what to expect here in Brevard County. Hopefully I answered some of your questions. I imagine I sparked other questions for you that you're curious about. Just know that I'm here to help. If you have any questions about things we went over or an upcoming move, this QR code will take you to my calendar. Find a time that works for you and let's have a discovery call to get those questions answered. I'm also queuing up 2 more videos right here for you to watch next with more information about living here in Brevard County. My name's Eric Larkin. I'm a realtor here on the Space Coast. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you on the next show.